Hello, Fitandtrim family. How are you? This is Rick Mejia, community manager for Fitandtrim Medical, and today we're going to talk about this is our Fitandtrim video blog number 3. So the idea is to get this video blogs rolling so we can kind of engage with our community. We've been a big part of it, especially within our close to our range, our location. And since 2012, we've worked with over 7,000 clients. So it's been more than a pleasure to be able to engage with such a massive population. So we want to do some blogs that are important. Some of them are obviously general information that most of you already understand, but some of them are just kind of tricky and somewhat a little bit more, I guess, surprise, because we don't think about them as much. They're not as hyper aware as others could be, but they're important and they do happen. I'm drinking some of my green coffee bean just because it's been a long day, but I definitely have the time to make sure we go over this great blog. Okay, so the blog for today is called 3 Reasons Why Rainy Days Can make you gain weight. And this is very, very key, especially for South Florida, because although we have mostly sunny days, Florida weather and South Florida weather is very bipolar. One second it's sunny out there, the next second you have the next hurricane, you have a storm happening. Okay, and believe it or not, scientifically speaking, it's been proven that rainy days can cause you to gain weight. And we even see it here, like whenever we are in our we come to work and we see our patients, whenever it starts raining a lot, we're like, oh, there's going to be a lot of cancellations. A lot of patients are going to come in just because naturally rain creates a couple of things. Okay, and I want to go over that. So some of the studies that were done, and I went through a couple of them, basically describe as rainy days causing basically three main actions within ourselves. Number 1 is depression. Obviously, when it's raining, you tend to be a little bit lower when it comes to motivation. You kind of look outside and it's gray. The color gray doesn't really inspire anything for you. You just kind of be like, I just stay home, just probably watch a movie and relax. So obviously just the natural setting causes you to be a little bit more depressed. And naturally, as you're a little bit depressed, you're not going outside, you're not getting some of your vitamin D, you're not taking too much action, it can cause you to start doing some binge eating. And obviously when you binge eat, you want to watch a movie, you just kind of are in the zone, you just kind of overeat. And part of not getting it, not going outside and taking action is the production of a hormone called leptin, which leptin is a hormone that your body produces to let you know that you're full. And naturally, when you're on the setting of rain, you just kind of lay back and you just take it easy too much. So binge eating becomes a part of the process. And last but not least is being sedentarism. You just kind of, whenever you can't wait to go to home and just lay down, lay on the couch, watch TV. You don't really want to do too much. If your kids had some type of activity that was outside, it gets canceled. Rain and traffic just cause massive stress, and you just naturally want to be home and you really don't want to take any action. But unfortunately for your weight and for your health, it's not that beneficial, because one of the most important things about staying healthy is consistency. It's not motivation, it's discipline, right? It's not perfection, it's basically seeking the process. And these rainy days in South Florida make that happen a lot. I've seen it all the time. I can give you hundreds of examples. So you got to be careful for everybody that's in South Florida. Those rainy days is when you really have to push through. Those rainy days is really when you have to kind of put your gym clothes on, when you really have to double down on your diet, where you have to create less friction. Because scientifically speaking, these 3 factors are going to go ahead and affect you. This happens a lot in the Northeast or a lot of places where we have a lot of seasons. When it gets cold, they call it the seasonal, I think it was the seasonal weight gain theory, something similar to that. I have to look into it. But basically during those time periods that it gets very cold, we tend to go through these phases of just eating a little bit more, putting up some more calories. But obviously the cold has also a factor to it. But needless to say that we experience that here. I mean, I experience it all the time when I'm here in South Florida and it's sunny in the morning and then it rains. I really just want to kind of cancel anything that's going on in the day and I really go through it. So for everybody that's kind of trying to have some consistency through your process and you're building that motivation, you're getting that momentum, don't let the rainy days get you. Do not let the rainy days get you, because they will. And if they do, they're going to reverse some of your process. And especially if you're building momentum, 1, 2, or 3 bad days can really hurt you for what you're continuing to do. Okay? So remember, every time you go outside and you see the rain, you just know, look, I have a higher chance of gaining weight. Statistically, you have a higher chance of gaining weight. So as long as you know that and you're hyper aware of it, you're going to be more, I would say, sensible to the decisions you make. Okay? So the next couple of months for Florida, we're going to have those rainy days. Just be prepared. Be very prepared.